All right. Good morning, chat. Why was cat nonsense on? Did I end stream with cat nonsense on yesterday? All right, before we start, I need to grab energy drink. Do I want blue or do I want orange this morning? Blue? You know what? It makes sense. Unfortunately, this is the last blue I have. I need to go get more blue. Controller grabbed. Alright, it's been 2 weeks. I need to find more circle clues. Let me pull up Notepad. Oh, these are the sanctum keys. We also have this. We know 6 of the 8 realms. I assume there's 8 because there's 8 doors. We've solved the one for Arinda Aries. Right? I think that's what this thing is. We have 7 of the 8 red letters. But, Mr. Fraud believes that I won't get the 8. Yeah, missing 12 rooms, 10 dartboard puzzles, 5 parlor games, 3 workshop contraptions, the other 7 realm sigils, and then the rest of them. I will put parlor there, but before I go in there, I need to go to the outer room. Sneezing. Thank you, Tato. What do we want? Probably tool shed here. Yeah. We got shovel and we got wrench. Shovel is nice. Love to see shovel. Alright. 2 false statements. This is the only true statement. The white box is empty. So if this is true, then it makes these other 2 false with its own statement saying that it's false. Which would corroborate with this. Because this is not the only true statement. Because this one is the only true statement. And that would mean that the gems are in the white box. Just that easy sometimes, chat. Ooh, a turnip. Nothing back there. Oh man, I sure love a rank 2 corridor. I'm gonna go Pantry because I don't want to spend gems yet. Oh, hell yes, early pool. I will gladly spend gems on an early pool. And it has keycard. Oh my god, show me security? That can't show up in the corner. I'll go observatory here. Sail. And Clavis. Nice. You love to see it. I'll draft Chapel, but then I'm gonna go back through Pool. Well, there's security. Once again, you love to see a rank 2 corridor. Oh, was it just standard rarity? I'll just go with common security. No, it's right here. First up, key cards. Set that to high. Log into network. RTA. Lab. Got no aquariums. That's unfortunate. I'm gonna do set steps to 40, and I'm just gonna be careful to not eat apples yet. Do I have all the letters in the mailroom? Probably not, actually. I think I've got 5 total. Can probably get some like realm sigils from that. Sure. No one left their tithing out. Then. Hold on, runny nose. I hope I'm not coming down with a cold. Ooh, this is icky. I think I'm just gonna go hallway closet. Always love to see sleeping mask. I'd like to draft nursery before I draft any bedrooms. I'm gonna do green room here, but then I'm gonna double back and go through foundation. Any items in there? Doesn't look like it. Guess I'll go hallway here. Gives me West Wing access. I'm redrawing that. West Wing Hall, thank you. Nothing in here. Oh, cool, gallery. God, oh no. All right, guest bedroom. Really would have loved to save this for nursery. I mean, I just got the car keys. I'll take whatever's in the car. This one. Oh, a lockpick kit. And the secret garden key. This doesn't have anything for... No, that doesn't have any realm sigil clues. Not south of the garage to put secret garden, if only. Drawing room or passageway? I think I go passageway because I do not want to... I don't want to have a blank drawing room space. Or like, I guess an unusable door. Also, isn't there supposed to be... Yeah, there's a key right here. Okay, so no matter what I do here, it blocks off that space. So no full house today. The Curse of Blackbridge. Let me get that. Oh, I love Treasure Trove. No bookshop, but I did get Treasure Trove. Green memos in white boxes are always lies. We've never seen a blue memo before, but we know that the memos in here are always true. I will do drawing room here, except I can't afford it. Never mind. Closed exhibit. Mechanarium. I have one gear room. I'll go bunk room, I guess. That's a no. Nothing on the benches in here. I will take drawing room here, except I can't. This is why I shouldn't have used my gems. Well, I guess armory is going right here. What the negative effects of any one red room? Candles ignite fuses. I mean, I could theoretically buy all three of those. So be good morning, Burb. Okay, I've got to go all the way back around to spare green room to go forward. Hello, Hamster. Double banana, unfortunately not apples. Eating banana right now? Whoa, crazy. I can't believe Burb is Simon from Blue Prince. I can't believe Burb is the Blue Prince. Alright, yeah, I haven't missed anything. I will go for the billiard room. I don't think I have a reason to be going pump room right now. I have garden key. Oh, I should have tried garden key, yeah. 12. 4 and 3 is 7. Was pink multiply? I think pink was multiply. Also, I'm opening blue drink. Love my blue drink. Very fizzy, got on my hand. This is a very full can. Let's see, let me pull up my screenshots. That's trophies, not screenshots. Hey, wait a goddamn second. That note from earlier said that the green memos in white chests are always lies. But the memo that I got saying that the green memos I find in the treasure trove will always be true was a green memo in a white chest. God damn it. Yeah, okay, pink was multiply. So 7 times 3 is 21. The answer is 12 again. 20 minus 1 is 19. Minus 20 is -1. Flip it to be 1? No. What do I do here? $17? How is this 17? How is this 17? Oh my god, okay. 20 minus 1, 19. I forgot that I needed to flip it twice. Yeah. Okay. Flip for 91, minus 20 is 71, flip for 17. Wait, Secret Garden key can only be on the wall. Key 8 can only be on rank 8. Lockpick does it. And Mechanarium has to do it. I already have it set to commonplace. and Mechanarium has driven me into a dead end. Now, what in the motherfucking goddamn bullshit is this? Huh? Apparently, if I use something to block the red room effect of Lavatory, I get a treasure map. What if I didn't have a shield? Did someone flush this shit down the toilet? Do I have that room? I think that's closed exhibit. Well, looks like the spot. Time to start digging. Oh, Adge. Alright, we back from Edge. One of the lost coffers of Mount Holly. What? 25 coins and 3 gems. What the fuck? Guess I call it a day. I can't go forward, and there's really no points in going back, I think. Perplexing museum. 3 puzzle rooms, the gallery, and the closed exhibit. I tried winning the game? No, but you've now lost the game? That's right, Tato, you did lose the game. Blame Sabi? Don't blame me, Burb. You're the one who brought it up. Ooh, you know, I haven't done the classroom thing. I might want to try doing the classroom thing. Good luck with that. I'm smart. I can do the classroom thing. Alright. Bye. Alright. I won't go library because I want bookshop. I'll go parlor. Have the exact same start as yesterday. Gems are in this box. Gems are in a box next to this box. The gems are in the blue box. Okay, so the gems cannot be in here because that would make all 3 of these true. Library, then Nook forces another one to spawn. Oh yeah, I guess that is true. So blue cannot be true, and the gems cannot be in blue because that makes everything true. Which means I just have a 50-50 shot and 2 keys to do it with. Alright, good reading nook. Oh my god, another treasure map. Rank 5 on West Wing. I don't have a shovel. I need commissary. The Curse of Blackbridge. Oh, damn. January 1st. 94. The Legend of Blackbridge is one that's well... Here, let me, be a screenshot in this shit. See, the Legend of Blackbridge is one that's well known to the people of the Grand Realm, for versions of this tale have been passed down from generation to generation. With each new telling, the story has changed, becoming over the years more colorful, more verbose, and as one might expect, increasingly horrifying. Ignore my wrist sound. Can I just... Maybe? Potato, everything in this game is screenshot worthy. How do I know that my existence hasn't been a hint to this game this entire time, huh? However, with so many renditions and unique personal touches, the task of confining and binding this tale to text seemed an ambitious and impossible challenge. Over the course of my research, I have heard dozens of variations of the legend, and while the details would often change, I was surprised by how much of the story's heart remained the same. Yet the more I listened, the clearer it became that there could never be a definitive version of this tale capable of capturing the wonder and myth of Blackbridge. In the end, I chose to write down what I felt most authentic, a story my grandmother told me as a boy long ago. Part 1. The Berry Picker from Oris. I guess Oris could be like a portmanteau of Orinda Aries. Maybe. Many years ago, before peace had become a familiar word, there lived a group of rogues so wayward that the locals deemed it appropriate to call their number the Unholy Hounds. They were feral outlaws composed of society's worst in a time when society was at its worst. And for each crime that fearful travelers credited to the group, a dozen more land claimed, each worse than the last. Wait, Oris has been mentioned before. Just gonna, don't mind me. Oris is probably a city. For the gentry, however, who often value their coffers more than their companions, no crime could measure more wicked than the group's primary enterprise: high road robbery. One such member of the so-called band of rogues was a boy of 13 years, Jesper, who had not been lucky in life, having lost 2 brothers to war and parents to famine. In the years of hunger that followed, Jesper lived in a gutter behind a churchyard, relying on the nourishment of scurrying bugs and weeds harvested from the cracks of the alleyway to sustain his pitiful existence. It is not surprising that a child aiming to escape such hardships would take any easy road out. An easy and well-traveled road paved with temptations, leading out of the city and into the gentry lands, where loose purse strings entwine with the strands of salvation and glisten equally with the hope of opportunity. It was this road that eventually led Jesper to the end of his youth, a hidden cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. It was here he met his surrogate family and saviors, that notorious gang of godless outlaws known as the Unholy Hound. This is gonna be a long one, isn't it? Okay. Despite the hardened circumstances that had led him to this vocation of banditry, Jesper was surprisingly tender-hearted and was often teased by the group for being too kind for such an ignoble life. For this reason, Jesper was assigned the innocent role of berry picker. It was not just innocence that set berry picking apart from the gang's more wicked undertakings, for it was the only duty performed without the safety of night's concealment. Jesper, no stranger to solitude, did not protest that he alone worked while the others slept soundly, tucked away in the cave at the bottom of Blackbridge Canyon. On one such occasion, Jesper decided to get an early start. He left the cave, berry basket in hand, and set out into the woods before the morning sun had even brushed against the tallest treetops. It was colder in the mornings, but the headway dawn afforded meant Jesper could reach the furthest most berry patches without worry of being chastised for tarrying upon his return. It took over 3 hours on foot to reach his destination, and along the way, Jesper had passed by many a familiar bush, all priorly pillaged and so bereft of berries that one would have to dedicate several moments in earnest examination before finding a single one. Jesper was patient, but even patience has its limits. He was confident that even accounting for the time lost to this long stretch of travel, his efforts would be well worth the pains. Surveying the patches in this new grove surprised even Jesper. The red dots suspended among the leaves seemed as numerous as stars in the skies. Upon seeing such a bounteous sight, he clutched his berry basket tightly and nearly toppled over out of joy. Once he had regained his senses, Jesper quickly made a decision. He would not reveal the location of this newfound treasure. Instead, he would earn the respect of his confederates, who, upon seeing his yield, might attribute the success to hard work. Smiling at his plan, Jesper set off to fill his basket and was making steady strides in this task when the sound of thundering hooves interrupted him. A carriage is approaching. The thought of it made Jesper freeze. Had he been so enchanted by his discovery that he had neglected to observe his surroundings? How could a roadway be so close? He ducked down and crept towards the impending sound, hiding behind one of the larger bushes nearby. It was only a moment before the sound source revealed itself. Within 50 paces of where Jesper hid, an elegant carriage with gold trim came soaring around a corner of trees, led by 2 beautiful white horses, and conveyed by a stern-looking driver seated atop the vehicle, flaunting the most sophisticated regalia Jesper had ever seen. It was not just any carriage, it was a royal carriage. Even without having witnessed such a sight before, Jesper was certain. The sight had so transfixed Jesper that he stood awestruck, unable to tear away as the carriage approached. The little concealment the bush provided was soon proven unequal to the driver's lofty perch. Upon spotting the boy, he pulled the reins with such effect that the noble steed slid to a sudden halt with precise control. God, this is so much reading. Oh, why do I have to be literate? Okay. You boy, get out from behind that bush, he shouted with a rigidity that betrayed a modest amount of fear. Startled me half to death coming around the bend of my own drive, and me seeing such an unfamiliar face in a place where there ought not to be of any face. Jesper quickly contemplated running. The man was much older, and his dress was suitable for courtly behavior, not dashing through the bramble and mud. I was picking berries. Jesper raised the half-filled basket up to allow the driver to see the proof of his words. The demeanor of the man suddenly changed. It was a change that Jesper was familiar with. He had many times seen the same stern expressions on the most fiendish bandits melt away when presented with a berry basket. Any suspicions that the driver might have had instantly evaporated. Even the notion of a member of the Unholy Hounds picking berries seemed farcical. The softened expression even made allowances for a smile. Berries, eh? Say, you couldn't have picked a better spot for them, could you? Used to pick berries here as a boy. Jesper took his cue to finally step forward out from behind the bush, proudly brandishing his basket. I know, and what luck I found them. I've only just begun picking, and look how many I have. It would have taken me fourfold the time to procure this number. The driver bent down for a closer look. And where is your home, boy? It must be quite far. Jesper replied with a scripted response. A little south of Tanner Fork, just past the burnt woods. My God, that is far. You couldn't have come all that way only this morning. It was true. Tanner Fork was in the exact opposite direction that Jesper had traveled, and while that response would seem perfectly reasonable in a location closer to Blackbridge Canyon, you could see why it might seem less believable here. Sir, I have traveled much farther for much less profit. I dare say that there is no distance yet made by man that would not be worth undertaking for a price such as these. Surely you have tasted them for yourself. Jesper felt happier with this response as it seemed to amplify the man's smile. In my youth, often, but perhaps I took it for granted because I never had to travel very far, and even then my father would always drive us here in our carriage. I'm so ashamed I never had to walk such a stretch to earn an equal reward. It was Jesper's time to smile. Then let my efforts reward us both today. He raised the basket even higher. A taste in memory of your youth, sir. Okay. The driver chuckled and removed one glove, bending over the seat to reach down to the basket. And the moment his fingers touched the first berry, the dagger in turn met his throat, cutting through a superficial layer of skin and drawing blood. Jesper caught the man's startled eyes. For that taste, I will have your purse, sir, in memory of my youth. The driver's arm had gone stiff, his chin raised and trembling, more frightened than he had ever been before. Whether unable or incapable of speaking, he did not respond to the boy. Perhaps he did not think his jaw could afford to be engaged at this particular time. Jesper let the basket drop, freeing his other hand to probe the man's pockets. Do not mistake me, sir. I will not kill you if you give me no cause. Though I will admit, the thought of taking your carriage and leaving you the indignity of walking appeals to me. Unable to find a purse in the man's coat, Jesper pivoted to search the seat under him. Why have you no purse on your person? The driver slowly raised his hand cautiously, pointing towards the carriage door behind him. Jesper lowered the knife's edge a small degree to allow the man to speak, which he did turn in softly. There's a lockbox in the carriage. Well, come down then and grant me the courtesy of sparing your life and binding your hands. Concession I assure you of my tender heart, for it would be much easier to slit your throat. The man started to comply, slowly lowering himself from the driver's seat of the carriage. Once down, Jesper guided him away from the carriage to a nearby tree where he instructed him to get on his knees and put his hands behind his back. Excusing his inexperience, the man indulged Jesper while he figured out how to adequately bind him. The smile and kindness Jesper had seen on this man's face, now nothing more than a distant memory. In their place, cold, dark eyes displaying no emotion. I wonder, should I grant you the same clemency you were showing me? Jesper stopped, surprised by the question, but ignored it. Secured the final bindings and then hastily returned to the carriage. With one hand on the door's handle, he turned back to the man. There's no lockbox, there will be no clemency. Inside the carriage was surprisingly dusty and unswept, a stark contrast to the elegant and polished golden facade of the exterior. It had apparently been many years since a passenger had enjoyed passage in this vehicle. This all but confirmed what Jesper had suspected. The driver of this carriage was not a liveried servant in the employ of some greater master. Any curiosity that this observation might have further produced was quickly abandoned upon seeing what rested under the carriage's back seat. A large wooden lockbox. Despite its hefty appearance, the box was surprisingly easy to handle. Within a few minutes, Jesper had dislodged it from its hold and carried it out into the sunlight. Inspecting the box carefully, 2 observations were made. The totemic symbols found carved on all 4 sides of the box hinted that the box was very old and likely not created by Orindian hands. It reminded him of artifacts from the Old World and was presumably crafted in one of the ancient realms. Okay. Secondly, the box was secured by a rusted yet robust padlock and would not open easily without a key. Jesper looked over to see the driver quietly observing from his indentured position. You perhaps have a key you can provide me to open this box. Without emotion, the driver replied, There is no key to that box. Jesper stood up. Easy enough then. He headed over to a nearby rock of sizable dimensions and lifted the stone up, carrying it back to the box. If there was ever a time when that lock had been resistant to brute force, it wasn't recent. With one hit, the stone had completely shattered the rusted lock. He bent back down and opened the lid. Inside was an effigy, a crude figure chiseled from stone. Without too much deliberation, Jesper bent down and picked it up, somewhat surprised how heavy it seemed given how light the box felt. Having expected to find something more akin to gold or gems, he looked questioningly to the man, hoping to find an explanation. The driver's smile once again returned. You are cursed, boy, for deadly is the stone. You have opened that which should never have been opened, and you are cursed. Jesper carried the effigy over to the man and shoved it in front of his face. What is it? That's one. Feeling his disappointment rising to anger now, Jesper tightened his grip on the effigy. One what, you mumbling agentor? No idea what that word is. And in God's name, why have you no purse upon your person? The man did not seem intimidated. 1 pace. Paused for effect. 12 more, and you will be dead. He had only a second to flinch before the effigy struck him in the head and put an end to his cryptic ramblings. If there was ever a time when the old man had been resisted to brute force, it wasn't recent. Jesper looked down at the sculpted stone figure, now splattered red. Was it cursed? Was he cursed? He had, of course, heard stories of curses, and had never doubted their validity in the past, and now that he was standing face to face with the possibility of being cursed, his mind pleaded with him to be skeptical. And if he was cursed, what difference would the knowledge make? A dozen more paces would not be enough to find another living soul, to say nothing of the chances of procuring a remedy. If he did not move from where he now stood, he could maybe live for another 3 or 4 days, maybe more given the abundance of nearby berries. A plan that, if we ignore its obvious faults, might provide additional opportunities for help to come along. But what good would that do? To be discovered here, beside a body, stolen goods in hand, bloated from berries and raving about a curse that could very well not be real. No, it would most certainly be better to face one's fate now, take a dozen paces and see if life goes on. But Jesper found his legs unable to make that first step. His mind was unable to convince his limb to waste away 1/12 of his life in a single motion. Feeling the desperation sink in, he hopelessly looked about him for a solution. And if, by some stroke of luck, the gods had heard his plea, a miracle materialized before him as if he found himself suddenly at the end of a fairy tale. 2 white horses in a carriage of golden trim were beside him, the answer to his immediate prayers. He laughed at his fortune and calculated the short number of paces back to the road. 4. Perhaps only 3 if he jumped. He made a quick survey to see if there was anything he wished to grab before taking the plunge. He thought about removing the driver's fancy coat, as that appeared to be of some value, but the additional risk of undertaking such a task too great to chance. So, after a profound breath, he took his 2nd, 3rd, and 4th steps, though they were quite large. Seated now behind the horses, he reached for the reins and suddenly realized that he was still gripping the effigy. If the curse was real, then it would most certainly be better left here. If, on the other hand, the story was fictitious, there might be some appeal that could be made of the figure. It was, after all, found within a lockbox, whose typical function oft secures objects of value. Having witnessed firsthand the horrors of destitution, Jesper found his mind equally reluctant to allow his hand to let go. If it is cursed, I die. If not today, then tomorrow. And if I die, what care have I? And with that statement said aloud, to the horses, seemingly, Jesper took up the reins with confidence. That was just part 1? That was just part 1. I've been reading for like 20 minutes. Miller awoke to some light nudging from a familiar foot. Only one person would have the cheek to awaken her in such ill-mannered fashion. Shaking the sleep from her eyes, she glared up at him in the darkness, but did not say a word. He nudged her again, teasingly, then stepped back into the dim. After taking a moment for her eyes to adjust to the darkness of the cave, Miller remembered. She was on third watch today. Quietly collecting her things and wits, Miller turned as she left. Oh, hold on. I'm snoozing my medicine alarm. Miller turned as she left, waving to her young friend, who was more than likely already asleep. She crept through the cavern's main passage, careful to not wake the sleeping bandits around her. Like a hero in a book, she often mused. Quietly, she grabbed a bow from the haphazardly formed pile of weapons, shaking the accompanying quiver in the darkness to assess how many arrows it held. She then walked towards the sun-drenched mouth of the cavern, ready to start her shift. Above her, in one of the few trees found in the canyon, Miller could see that Ravia was already posted. She waved, and Ravia waved back. Calling out to each other was strictly forbidden. Anything other than a gesture in the canyon was forbidden. When Miller reached the tree, Ravia lowered a braided rope and pointed to the ground behind her. Miller turned, following a finger, and she saw a pail of water resting beside a nearby log. She turned back to Ravia, nodded, and secured the pail to the rope. The pail went up first, and in turn, Miller followed. Ravia reached across to grab the water. Miller leaned back to give her space. There was not much room for maneuvering in this tree post, a necessary concession for the concealment the outpost demanded. Ravia tilted the pail up to her mouth dramatically, illustrating how thirsty she had been. Miller laughed silently as water poured out, splashing onto Ravia's face. It was a bit too daring and noisy of a joke. And had the others been around, they would have certainly been scolded for the unwarranted sound. But Miller appreciated the efforts Ravia took to verbalize the silence of the morning. They had been on third watch together for over a month. During that speechless time, their friendship had grown into something special. Affection was unsurprisingly scarce among the unholy hounds. She had felt camaraderie before, of course. Intimacy, never. Holy shit, Taylor, you were not lying. This is Yuri time. From their elevated vantage, the girls could see both the concealed entrance of the cavern as well as a clear view of the bridge that spanned across the canyon. Black Bridge was the link between the Gentry lands and the northern mountains. Overpass that connected Oris and Reddington. To the city-faring travelers of the realm, the bridge was an unavoidable crossing. Okay, Oris is a city. It is not a realm. Dang. In the day, the task was to ensure that travelers passed by without stopping. At night, the task was to ensure that they do. Like most of her band, Miller preferred the night. The biting glare of the sun might be tolerable to farmhands and bricklayers. To a cavern-housed bandit, it was a source of constant annoyance. In the day, there was no shroud to conceal her expressions, nor to hide her thoughts. She felt exposed. Ravia touched her elbow and pointed up. Miller, striving to suppress a budding smile, suddenly shook her head in response. There were many signs that the unholy hounds used in lieu of words, but the two of them had developed an extended vocabulary. Gestures quietly forged in the shared solitude of their month among the branches. She watched as Ravia shifted, placing her palms flat on the floorboards beneath them. Miller knew what she was trying to say, but shook her head a second time. It's often more fun to pretend not to understand. Ravia rolled her eyes and turned away, looking back to the canyon. Squinting through the leaves, the two girls held still, watching and listening. It was not long until Miller, too, heard the sounds of approach. Ravi held up two bent fingers, and a few moments later, two men emerged from the bridge's southern end. They were dressed in a familiar uniform, long gray coats with black facings, white waistcoats, and black tricorn hats. They belonged to the local patrol, the Blackguard. Although not an everyday occurrence, their presence at Black Bridge wasn't an unusual sight. It typically indicated an important traveler's impending passage across the bridge, information that the girls would promptly relay to their leaders as soon as the coast was clear. But this report, while exciting, was rarely acted upon. In Miller's 5 years in the Unholy Hounds, she had never once seen a carriage taken in open daylight when the Blackguard was nearby. Okay. The men had nearly reached the bridge's northern end when Miller heard the horses, faintly at first, but growing louder with each passing moment. Ravia's eyes met Miller's, the same concern mirrored in each other's expression. This did not sound like the typical carriage, cautiously approaching the bridge to cross. Instead of the familiar crunch of the high road's gravel, they heard the harsh clattering of hoofbeats against stone. Both girls quickly redirected their attention downwards, looking through the foliage. The sounds were not coming from the high road, but from the canyon itself. The horses were coming from below the bridge. In an instant, Miller had knocked an arrow and drawn her bow. Go! Ravia was gone before the whisper had even left Miller's mouth. The young scout was already sliding down the bank below, racing toward the cave. There was no road that ran below the canyon. There was no reason for numerous horses to be approaching their cave. There was only one reasonable conclusion, and both girls had reached it instantly. The base had been compromised. This was a Blackguard attack. The moment the horses came into view, Miller let loose her first arrow. She was surprised to see a carriage. She had expected cavalry. Before she even finished processing that thought, her second arrow was in the air. Without a trail, it would be unthinkable for a carriage to traverse such rough terrain, yet she watched as the wheels jolted over the rocky riverbed. A third arrow was now in flight, and there would be no need for a fourth. The driver slumped over just moments before the vehicle dipped into a small ditch, slamming into an embankment. The force of the sudden halt immediately shattered the two front wheels and catapulted the driver from his seat. Utterly confused now, Miller quickly glanced over her shoulder to see if any horses were also approaching from the rear. Down in the canyon, the entire horde of the Unholy Hounds came spilling forth from the earth as if hell itself had suddenly sprung open. The group seemed even more bewildered than Miller, half asleep and tripping over one another in a desperate attempt to engage an unseen enemy in combat. Miller could see Ravia among their number, the only one looking up at her. Her expression was chilling. There would be no need for a silent gesture to convey what they both now realized. They had made a mistake. The gang's chieftain, Jeffrey Heartslasher, led the others, cautiously approaching the crashed carriage like a suspicious fox would near a baited trap. There were no words exchanged as the group crept forward in customary silence. A dozen or so paces in front of the wreckage lay the far-flung driver, an arrow protruding from his broken body, and beside him, a blood-stained effigy carved from stone. Tato, you lied. We're like 3 pages in, and there's still more. Miller was inconsolable. Jasper had always been her favorite. He had always shadowed her in the night, clinging to the hems of her every move, the way a child tails behind an older sibling. Tender-hearted, she had always called him, though deep down she had known that wasn't quite true. His appearance of gentleness concealed a raw, resilient durability that emerged in most perilous of situations. He had been a flower among the nettles of this cave, but he still had thorns, owned by a grim past and 100 hands of misfortune. They buried him in the darkness, in the back of one of the larger cavern rooms. He was interred with a berry basket and a silk handkerchief that he had treasured. The mysterious effigy they had found beside him served as a distinguished gravestone, a marker that stood out as somewhat special among the rows of similar swords marking neighboring plots. No one spoke, not even in whispers. There was nothing to say. Playing funny puzzle game. Jasper There's a character in this book named Jesper, and I keep calling them Jasper, and it's fucking with me. Also, yes, funny puzzle game was on the schedule. I'll be working on your gear between finishing stream today and before I have to go to work, and then after work. See, Miller awoke the next day to a thunderous shaking and rattling of the earth, a far cry from the playful nudging of the previous day. She strained to adjust her eyes, but the choking sting of stirred-up dust caused her to flinch. Panic was also in the air. The sounds of scurried footsteps and clattering feet filled the space around her. But even in alarm, the silence was louder. What was it that sounded so strange? Miller closed her eyes tight and used her feet to guide her along the passage. The whispers around her were getting louder, and intense voices could be heard ahead. Louder speech than she had ever heard spoken in the canyon. A growing dread grew as Miller approached the mouth of the cave. Her eyes now opened wide despite the dust. Shouldn't it be day? Miller felt a hand in the darkness, pulling at her. It was Ravia. The two embraced, and Miller did not need to see her to understand. Ravia placed two bent fingers against Miller's cheek, and with that touch against her face, Miller felt the same sinking feeling from the previous day. Two bent fingers confirmed what Miller had suspected. Girls had forgotten to relay one critical piece of information to the others. An hour or so later, the screams began. Blood-curdling cries of hopeless desperation. Captain Fodrick Lee of the Blackguard looked down from the ridge of the canyon to the collapsed entrance of the cave. He grinned. Now they speak. That was half an hour of reading for nothing. I got no hints. Bookshop, but I'm not gonna buy anything in here. Can I buy anything in here? I can buy Drafting Strategy Volume 5, but I'm not going to. Something enshrined for me now? Well, damn, I've got a schoolhouse out there. Mechanarium is a dead end here. Corridor is the only thing that doesn't dead end me. You hate to see it. Terrace is very tempting, but that cuts me off of, like, the entirety of West Wing. Oh, and this is the treasure room. I just need a shovel. Oh, I forgot to get the gem from Den. Oh. I forgot to put in the password before trying to... RTA. Alright, experiment setup. I think I'll go for bedroom and dice. Does that sound like a good idea? Immediately set steps to 40 seems good. Well, there's the first classroom. And it dead ends me. Okay, it's not a true dead end, but it stops me from continuing down West Wing, and I do not want that. Yes, dining room on rank 3. Yeah, no, I was expecting that book to be like, hey, here's where the other clues to, like, the Blackbridge microchips are. I need to go take my meds. Meds taken. Alright, grade 1. Caleb really likes red. Oh, someone left their lunch money. Okay, so we know that the wagon is red. Color for 3 of the sigils. That's what I was kind of thinking. I don't know where the heart is, but heart is gonna be purple. Is heart gonna be purple? Maybe. Hourglass might be the purple one. There's only 2 per color. Is this one? Yeah. See, they used red 3 times and blue 3 times. Yellow and orange were only used once. Hold on, I'm working on a spreadsheet to help like get all of this set straight. Set gay, actually. I mean, sorry, I misspoke. Which one of the ones colored red shouldn't be red? The lizard. The lizard is green. And the map is yellow? I assume that's a map at least. This one. Those are blueprints. Oh. Okay, so then the mountain is yellow. This mountain. That gives us the orange heart, but we don't know what the heart goes to yet. Heart is correct, yeah. We've got almost all the colors. I feel like at this point we could probably guess Araja if I have it. Or Erika. Damn, locked. Is the security door locked? It is. Back to entrance hall. Treasure trove so I can buy a new clue. Okay, bedroom is the only way forward here. Commissary, please have a shovel and keys. That is sledgehammer. I'm gonna go storeroom. I think that's my only way forward. Why should I have gone for patio? Does patio have keys on it? But my issue is keys right now. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I can do 4 redraws. Oh, I will gladly take Courtyard here. No shovel, damn. Drafting studio. The kennel. Each time you dig in a room, unlock all doors in that room. Whenever you enter vestibule, 3 of the doors in this room unlock, and the 4th one becomes locked. I can permanently add a classroom. I'm thinking maybe vestibule? You'd go kennel. Oh, I can't open the tiny safe. Because I don't have the magnifying glass. God, I'd love to go pool here. But I don't have the gems to. Do I try tunnel? Road 1 to treasure trove trust. Observatory. Damn it. No. Alright, archives is the only way forward. Oh, metal detector. Give me the gem. Or I'll just take an orange. Alright, Great Hall. It is bottom left and middle right. Study is a queen room. Oh shit, ads. We back. Well, at least the study paid for my tithing. Alright, grade 2. So, mhm, 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 mhm. No, this one is this one is 3. This one is 2. Wait, hold on. Did I do it wrong? Is this not 3? No, shit. It's Thank you all for coming to stream today. I will be graduating and going back to 2nd grade, apparently. Okay. This one I know is wrong because 6 minus 1 is 5, minus 3 is 2. 21. This one is 18. Okay, so those are the 2 that Penelope got wrong. There's not much to get from grade 2 stuff, but there's probably something. Just the math. Damn, all these students are dumb as hell. Okay, so is this just teaching me, is this just to teach me, like, the colors for the, dartboard puzzle? Okay. Yeah, we simply draw treasure trove. Oh shit, treasure trove. We are still 5 coins short. Security, is there any coins anywhere? Nope. Should have taken vault instead of bedroom. Okay, but then I wouldn't have been able to get up here, because I wouldn't have had any keys. Womp womp. Call it a day. I think it's time to call it a day. Would have been able to buy the book? Oh yeah, I guess I would have, huh? You know, we can at least go by, by the other one. Architect's Villa. Bum, 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 bum. Alright, show me shrine. What did I spend half an hour reading for? Does Simon just die if he takes 12 steps? Or I guess 13? Hello, Blitz. Oh shit, we actually did get shrine. Tato, where's the new thing in shrine? It's not here? Cool. Cool. Here, have all of my allowance. Surely I will not need this. Blessing of the chef. Need to get all the books. Oh, okay. So what you're saying is I should have not just spent my entire allowance at the shrine. Yeah, that wasn't very smart. Well, Tato, you just watched me fail 2nd grade math, so I think that's about par for the course for me. Ooh, that's a spicy library door. You love to see it. Oh my god, another treasure map. It's rank 6 on 2. Alright. Let me see a Sightseer's Guide to Reddington, because I got it originally, but I didn't actually read it, because I thought it was boring. And I was like, oh, this is just lore and world building, and I don't need this for puzzles. But I probably fucking do. Drafting 5? Let me get Sightseer's Guide to Reddington first. Now I just have to make 50 gold today. It was boring in this game. It was before I realized what this game was gonna do to me. Treasure trove into vault? Surely. Surely. You'll have to see security. Let's go get a, who is Shirley? I can't believe Tato's never heard of Shirley Temple. Now, I'm curious what happens when you end a day without drafting a single room. I can't believe Blitz thinks I'm talking about Shirley Temple the drink and not the famous actor it was named after, Shirley Temple. Draft a hallway from a hallway, gain 1 key for every 2 hallways. And then I just get, what's it called, aquarium 45 times. Rank to a tunnel. True. Honestly, I think I'll probably go 2 or more gems, set dice to 2. I'm gonna do that. Well, damn. I hate that. That sucks. This is a rough one. Gems are in another box. The truth is on another box. The words another box are on another box. Okay, so this one has to be true because there's no changing that. Other boxes do say another box. This one is a paradox. Because the truth implies that there's only one truth. Sorry, I think I just died. Dying isn't good for the health? Damn, I heard otherwise. Fuck it, we gamba. Always gamble. You never lose. I'm booting up Yakuza 0 and playing poker. Gambling is cool. You should quit school. I forgot that the lunchbox set it off. Anything else in here? I don't have a shovel. New room. It is criminal that it is not letting me pet the dogs. That is a picture of a cat. Why is that in here? Simon's hand died. Aquarium, my beloved. Diary is locked. I don't have a sledgehammer. Damn. Drunk. I know that guy from Dragon Ball. Woo, 4 coins. Um, 2636 divided by 3 is 12. Flip that around for 21. Minus 2 is 19. 13. Flip it around, it's 31. Plus 1 is 32. Flip it around is 23. Minus 20 is 3. 8. Flip that around, it's 8. Plus 7 is 15. Flip that around, that's 51. 51 plus 10 is 61. Flip that around, that's 16. I don't think I want to go Mechanarium. I think... No, I won't go Yuto. Go Mechanarium? Okay. Oh shit. Treasure is in here. Alright, to the dining room. Lockpick kit? No lockpick kit in here, dang. This will give me an extra 10 steps from Ladyship's chambers. Oh, you'll love to see a rank 7 courtyard. Ooh, sledge. And that is dead end unless guest bedroom has a key card in it. Actually, I could get key card off of bookshop. That's kind of funny. None of these rooms can give me have my treasure map. Sacred Manor, Chapel, Cloister, and Shrine. Oh, there's a bunch of crosses now. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Bum, bum. Shrine probably can't show up if you've already got a Shrine Blessing active. Probably just want Tool Shed. I think we go Tool Shed. Shed the tools. Oh, you'll love to see Sledgehammer and Metal Detector. Sorry, I was looking away from the screen. I'm texting and driving. Green. Okay, this is a Rook room. Okay, Trophy room is already rare. Put you down to standard. I would like to see Kennel more. No trunk. Still something in hall. Okay, I will go back to hall. Oh my god. That's annoying. Observatory! Give me Clavis and Sail again, please. Alright, now we just immediately get Reading Nook Library Bookshop. Gonna go green. I'm tempted to aquarium for the silly. I feel like rank 5 is a reasonable rank to start using Corridor and Courtyard. Still a picture of a cat. Well, there's Vault. I have learned nothing from Dead Money. Or what's the name of the Fallout, like DLC? Is it Dead Money? Correct? Yeah, okay. Alright, let's go all the way back around, yeah, it's an entrance hall. Yeah, simply get Nook Library Bookstore. Like right here. Oh wait, no, Nook would be a bad thing to get here. You know, I'm gonna go from entrance hall. Dead Money is about letting go. Dead Money sounds like someone didn't invest in their strength score. Ooh, key card. You'll love to see it. No, that's a terrible Nook. That's a terrible Nook. I'm putting Great Hall right there. Okay, I'm gonna do Library on its own first. Okay. Introduction. The third largest city in Fen Aries and site of its former capital, Reddington is synonymous with mountains, mystery, and magic. Okay, hold on. We can get shit from that. Wait, what the fuck? It literally gave me half the shit for Fen Aries. Also, Grand isn't a realm. Fen Aries is the Grand Realm. Society? I think that was one of the. I think that was a moat. Yeah, Marshall. Okay, so we can go solve Fen Aries. The heart is Korobika. This is literally just. Chat, I think I have terminal stage 4 dumbass. I think it's time for me to go get euthanized. I think I need to be put down like a dog. I'm not reading this one out loud, but I am still going to be screenshotting it. I don't think I got anything from that. Bookshop. It's just that easy, chat. It is shrimply that easy. Oh my god, and I can instantly request it for tomorrow. Fuck, no I can't. Eight, 6. I'll check. Okay, 6, 7, 8. Show me 9 and a 10. There's a 9. 4 and 5 would be better. You know, now I can get a 5 or a 10. Come on, 5 or a 10. That's an ace. God, I can't do shit. What the fuck am I supposed to do with a queen and a 2? Oh boy, queen and a 6, that's so much better. Okay, pair of queen is at least playable. Show me pair of 6. Show me a full house, actually. That's not a full house. Oh wait, hold on, no, I won, let's go! Tato, you see, the thing about blueprints is, hold on, I can't. It's actually still open. Here, I'll... call it a day and save and quit. Anyway, Ace Jack, we call. Show me a king and a queen, please. Nope. I said king and a queen, not a 3. Oh my god. I'm folding. Yeah. Eight king. Okay. Show me another king. Please. That's not a king. Can high card king do it? No, it can't. Okay, hold on. Hold on. Pair of 10s. Show me 4 of a kind. That's not 4 of a kind. Show me 3 of a kind. Watch as Taro has, like, pair of aces. Oh god, someone could have a straight. That's 2, 3, 4. Someone could have 5, 6. Fuck it, we gamba.
One pair.
Yeah, pair of 10 does it. Okay. Surely we just get flash. That is pair of 10. Three of a kind, 10. God, poker's so easy. Okay, that's... Do not like 3-7, but at least they're both hearts. God, please show me 2 more 7s or a 7 and an 8. Okay. Okay, that's 2 pair 7, 8. Come on, 7 or an 8, 7 or an 8, 7 or an 8. Okay. But 2 pair 7, 8. Could be worse. Fuck. Did not account for the straight. Okay, king 10. Taro on the insta-fold. Okay. 2 more hearts and I have a flush. On 9 and queen, I have a straight. And right now I have ads. Alright, back to gambling. We bet on this. Show me a king. Oh god, if someone has a 9, I'm fucked.
One pair.
Pair of 10s does it, baby. Let's go. Pair of 10s never fails. You love to see 5-6? Someone finally has 5-6? Okay, show me a 7 and a 4? That's not great. Nothing does it for me anymore. I'm folding. Okay, ace-7 suited. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Not good. Not good. Show me an ace, please. Would high card ace have done it? Maybe. Okay, 8-9. Pair of 9s, pair of 9s. Single pair never fails. God, show me a 7? 7 or an 8? That is 3 of kind 9.
Three card.
Get fucked. Wow, you were doing that with single pair 4? Oh, I was always creaming your ass. Okay. 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 Not looking good, chat. Okay, okay, hold on. Looking better. Pair of jacks. Someone has 10 queen here. I'm fucked. That's a 2 pair. 10 queen doesn't exist. 10 queen does not exist.
Two pair.
Oh my god, I'm rolling in it. 1920, that's my favorite resolution. This hand sucks. Okay. Queen Jack. Show me 910. That's not 910. I'm fucked. God, please drop a king. That 10 is too late. Surely high card king does it. Yeah, no. Don't like that. Okay, pair of 3. Drop a 5, please. Okay, that's pair of... That's 2 pair 3 ace. I'll bet on that. Easy. Okay. We have flush potential, we have straight potential. We have a pair of kings. Ah, the 2 pair. Okay. I'll check. That is pair of 4. Will pair of 4 do it for me? No, pair of 8 beats pair of 4. Okay. Show me another heart. And if that falls through, I have pair of kings. That is 2 pair ace king. Yes, I bet on that.
2ペア
I'm being informed that I might need to come into work early today. Hopefully I don't need to, but... Okay, that's 2 pair Jack 7. Surely that does it. Stream is cut short. Just don't be surprised if stream ends like pretty suddenly. Oh, the 2 pair Queen Jack. That beats out 2 pair Jack 7. Ace King. Show me an ace. Damn it. Oh, 2-8 is not good. Okay, that is pair of 2s. That is better. Oh, was I cooking back there? Blitz, we both know I can't cook. That is pair of aces and 2s. Yeah, fold. 7-8. Uh, 7-8-9. Show me 10 Jack. I should have hit bet, not check. Okay, that's pair of 7s. The straight. Defeated by straights once again. 5-10 suited. That's pair of 5s. Show me full house 5-10. Nope. Hand of 4-6 is not real. But pair 7 beats pair 5. Oh my god. Okay, that's pair of 3s. Okay, that's 2 pair 3-2. Okay. 8, pair of 8s in the hole. That's nice. show me 5 or 10. Actually, no, just show me 10.
Straight.
10 Jack is nice. Okay. That is pair of threes. High card Jack is gonna have to go kind of bonkers. That is easy batting. Oh my god. Queen beats 10. Okay, pair of sixes. Okay, pair of sixes with high card Jack is gonna have to do it. The straight. Okay, 3-2. That's pair of twos. Pair of two. Carry me, pair of two. Just had the aces in hand. That's pair of eights. Okay, two pair Jack 8. Ah, but high card King beats high card 5. No, I'm not gonna, not with this one. God damn it. Oh, that was a flush. Okay. No, it was good for me to fold early then. Ace 5. Okay, that's pair of 5s. Show me a 4. Pair of 5s be enough? Just have the queens in hand. High card king does it. That is pair of aces. Gonna go get breakfast. Okay, Tata. If stream ends, just know that I was whisked away to work.
One pair.
Oh, you'll love to see it. Okay, pair of 6. Show me a 6 or a 10. That is a 5. Pair 7 beats pair 6. Show me 5 or 10. It's not a 5 or a 10. God damn it. King Jack. That's King Pair. Show me a 9. That's 2 pair King 8. Let's go. That's ace pair on the board. Ace 10, 2 pair. Who won that? That is pair of kings on the board. Show me a 10. It's not a 10. Ah, full house, damn. We've got pair 4. We have 2 pair Jack 4. And that's the straight. Defeated once again by straights. Oh, hello, Topi in YouTube chat. Thank you. Nice. 6-9. 6-9, guide me to victory.
な日もあるわ。
69 did not guide me to victory. Show me 4-6. Show me a jack. Just drop a single ace and I'm good. Tato, come back and get on the board. Or Blitz, if you're here, get on the board. There, if someone has any club that is a flush.
こんな日もあるわ。
Gonna quit while I'm ahead. And I guess I'm gonna go get ready for work. I haven't been called, but I figured I should be ready to I should be ready to leap out the door. Why won't it stop? Why won't it stop? Leave me alone, ghost of money I just won. Ow. It's still... Okay, it's gone. It can't hurt us anymore. Alright. Oh boy, thank you everyone for stopping by today. Let's see who I've got live to go raid. Spoon. Oh yeah, Spoonie's birthday was the other day. We can go raid Spoonie. All right. Thank you everyone for stopping by, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.